The 425th consecutive sellout at Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon for the Portland Trail Blazers and the Boston Celtics. Along with Rick Barry, this is Bob Neal. Hello, everybody. These Boston Celtics and Portland Trail Blazers only play 2 games a year, but on these recent lineups of the last couple of years, it's provided one of the best matchups in the NBA. Last year, Portland was the only team to beat Boston at Boston Garden, and then Boston came here to Portland, where the Trail Blazers are historically tough, and won in that very dramatic and exciting overtime basketball game. And Rick, you have to look at the matchups. Of course, with Boston, the household names such as Parrish and McHale and Bird and Ainge and Johnson, but these Portland Trail Blazers have some players that match up very well with Boston.
And I think it's really strange about the NBA because a lot of teams will match up very well, like Portland against Boston, and then you go to a weaker ball club and Portland will have a lot of difficulty with them. That makes it very interesting to watch NBA confrontations. But the Trailblazers have a Johnson of their own who's been very effective for them, and that's Steve Johnson in the center position. He has really gained his confidence. He is doing the type of things inside that have made him one of the key players on the success of this Portland ball club. He has problems with his size playing defense, but he has the quickness offensively, and he's a man that has to be contended with by the Boston Celtics and K.C. Jones. But the big effort that they're going to have to put forth, the Trailblazers that is on the boards. They have to control their defensive boards. They have to play good defense, try and force the Celtics into a more up-tempo game. They need to use the speed and the quickness and the youth that they have. If they do that, they have a chance.
Now, you think Portland might have a little bit of an edge because Boston just played in Golden State and Oakland just last night. Boston won big. 4 of the 5 starters scored 20 points or more. So the Celtics, with a little bit of a depth problem in some people's minds, come here to play 2 games back-to-back. Now, we'll be back with the opening lineups and the tip-off right after this. But let's look at the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. The Boston Celtics and the Portland Trail Blazers. The Boston Celtics are tied with L.A. with the best record in basketball, 36-12, 8.5 games ahead of Philadelphia. And for Portland's 30-20, and they are 7 games behind the Los Angeles Lakers. And there is K.C. Jones, who was a coach of the East team in the All-Star game. That's getting to be a real habit. That was the 4th year in a row for him. And new coach Mike Schuler, who's done a nice job here at Portland, had some changes, had problems with Walter Berry, traded him. Kevin Duckworth came here to provide some backup center help. Sam Bowie went out with injuries, and Mike Schuler's got this club playing well. 6-game winning streak at home. There are the starting lineups. This game is underway. Danny Ainge controls for the Boston Celtics.
Interesting matchup you'll see here. Defensively, it's going to be Vandeweghe on Bird, but when down the other end, Bird will probably go against Jones, and McHale will be on Vandeweghe.
Into Parrish. He got it past Steve Johnson, and Parrish with an easy 2, and the Celtics go out in front.
And that's the problem that Steve Johnson has against the big men inside. He does not have the height nor the size to be able to play against those men effectively. On defense, that is.
Caldwell Jones playing since Kenny Carr's been hurt. Back to Steve Johnson, and it's 2-2.
And again, penetration will cause those problems for you. Robert Parrish forced to try and pick up the penetrating Porter, and that left Johnson open for the easy 2.
Opening moments of play from Portland, Oregon. It's been raining out on the West Coast all week long. Boston out here. This is the 3rd in an 8-game, 12-day road trip for Boston. Porter gives it to Vandeweghe. Usually doesn't miss that one. There's a rebound over the back. Caldwell Jones, but he loses to Ainge. Dennis Johnson, point guard for Boston. Ainge, the number 2 guard. Kevin McHale against Caldwell Jones. Scoops it inside. It'll count on the continuation, and the foul will be on Caldwell Jones.
Now, Kevin McHale just gave a real sweet move that time to the defender as he made the move to the inside. But watch Caldwell now, a little fake as he paused, and then he made the quick move. He just gave a little pause move on it, froze Caldwell Jones, and as he saw Caldwell Jones stop his movement, he made a little quick move to the inside to get the little scoop shot, the foul, and the 3-point play now.
5-2 Celtics, 10:45 to go first quarter. Opening moments from Portland. Here's Terry Porter out of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. Clyde Drexler, high slam a jam. Vandeweghe, who misses. And Steve Johnson with the rebound. 5-4 Celtics. Parrish sweeps past Steve Johnson, and that's going to be a matchup to watch all along, because if Parrish can move that easily, he can really load up some points here. Here's Porter from long range. Porter one of those rare NAIA players from Wisconsin Stephen Points to be taken in the first round of the draft. And it's proven to be successful. He's second in the NBA in assists, 8.5 a game. Dennis Johnson. 9-6 Celtics. Terry Porter looking for Steve Johnson against Parrish. That's double team help from Danny Ainge. And the foul's on Parrish.
We see Robert Parrish with the move as Ainge comes in to help out, but the good quick step inside and the contact with the body, and both Ainge and Parrish had hit Steve Johnson, and the official had his choice. He gave it to Robert Parrish, however, and that's not good for the Celtics, because if Robert Parrish gets into foul trouble, they do not have Bill Walton ready to come in on the bench this season.
Steve Johnson from Oregon State University. 8th in the league in field goal percentage.
I asked him before the game, Bob, why he felt he was playing so well. He said, well, Rick, I'm just getting the minutes, and also the team is going to me. And so as a result, he's been able to do the things he always thought that he could do, but never had the opportunity to do it. And since that's happened, his confidence level has just raised tremendously.
Bird on the fadeaway. It is 11-7 Celtics, 9:27 to go first quarter. Terry Porter quickly down court. Drexler against Johnson. To Caldwell Jones. Vandeweghe likes to shoot it from there. Gets it for three. Kiki Vandeweghe. 6th in the league in scoring. Here's Danny Ainge missing from the corner, and Caldwell Jones with the rebound. Drexler applied the drive. Whoa! Picked his pocket. Bird wanted to go behind his back for the pass, thought better of it, and then missed the shot. Drexler. And all of a sudden the Blazers have the lead, 12-11. Danny Ainge left open for the shot. Was for three, but he must miss. 2 or 3 key rebounds by Caldwell Jones early here. He's playing in place of the injured Kenny Carr. Drexler comes back, misses this one. Rebound Parrish. Celtics want to run. But look at that, 4 of the Trailblazers back, so Larry Bird will go into the half-court offense, which means that. 8:14 to go, first quarter. Now Celtics lead by 1.
Well, they're playing an up-tempo ball game right now, and this is what Mike Schuller wanted. However, the Celtics are going basket for basket with them.
Caldwell Jones with the jump hook. On the board hard, McHale with a foul.
Well, the Celtic big men that time did not do a good job of controlling the defensive boards, and they gave those extra opportunities to the Trailblazers, and they capitalized on it as Caldwell Jones came up with a miss. Gets the rebound back, a long rebound over the head of McHale, and McHale across the arm on that foul, as you see it on the replay.
Caldwell Jones, second oldest player in the NBA, second only to Kareem. He's 38 years old, his 13th in his 14th year, and has 5 rebounds already in this game. And look at the score, 13-13 on Friday the 13th. Wouldn't you know he'd missed the free throw?
Lane violation.
Oh, he's going to get another chance at a lane violation.
Yeah, you know, you wonder about Kenny Carr. Has the bad back, the herniated disc, and he's, of course, a tremendous rebounder, 9th in the league, but Caldwell Jones replacing him quite well.
Doing a very nice job. Kenny Carr said he would be back hopefully 10 days to 3 weeks, so at least they'll know he'll have him back in time for playoffs.
Now it's 14-13. I'm glad those 13s went away. Just soon see the Celtics 13 go away, too. They're in the Irish green lucky uniforms. There's McHale doing what he does best.
Well, that's what Mike Schuller was concerned about, controlling the defensive boards. They had done a good job of it up until that last effort, but again, the long rebound, we've seen quite a few of them so far here this evening.
McHale with 5. Caldwell Jones got past Larry Bird, almost got the lucky basket. Bird went for the steal, gave Caldwell Jones the opening. Danny Ainge with his first foul of the ball game.
As Bird making the bad gamble, Ainge with a good job to come over to help out. Actually, he ran by, and it was Caldwell Jones' left arm that banged against Danny Ainge. Ainge really didn't make any contact on that play, but yet he got called for the foul. And it was almost a minor miracle, that ball going in the basket.
You know, Caldwell Jones, who's been playing about 30 minutes a game since Kenny Carr's been hurt, was only playing about 15. And at 38, you wonder how long Caldwell Jones can continue playing 30, 35 minutes a game.
Well, Bob, I've been always a big believer that the NBA never really took full advantage of the experienced ball players. And they always tried to say that when the man gets to be 34, 35 years old, his value was really not that much to the ball club. I really think there's no substitute for experience, and a lot of older players should be playing a little bit longer with less of a capacity.
There's Robert Parrish over Steve Johnson. It's 17-14 Celtics. 7:16 to go first quarter. Porter, nice pass to Steve Johnson. Inside, double pumps. But he trapped. No basket.
That was a good call by Jake O'Donnell. Johnson made the nice fake and got the men airborne, but he did drag the pivot foot.
Larry Bird has 4 points in this game. McHale is almost unstoppable down there. I don't know who can really stop him consistently once he's posted.
Well, the guys in the locker room, Bird and Johnson and those fellows, as Ainge makes a good steal, said that Michael Thompson plays him well. Now he's with the Lakers.
There's McHale on the Boston break after the Ainge steal, and Boston gets the easy hoop, and it's 21-15. Yeah, there's the big trade today. Los Angeles trading Peter Goodmanson, who's on the injured list, and Frank Brakowski to San Antonio for Michael Thompson, the former Trailblazer also.
Well, the consensus of opinion, Bob, is the fact that of the Boston Celtic players that trade helped the Lakers.
No question about it. 21-15 Celtics, 6:25 to go, quarter number 1. All right, let's take a look at the TBS efficiency rating, our effort to help you keep up with the overall contributions of a player in a game. Remember, we add up all the positives, subtract the minuses. Player scoring above 20 is excellent. Below 10, not very good. A couple of players to give you an interesting example going into tonight's action are Robert Parrish and Steve Johnson. We talked about the matchup. You see Parrish efficiency rating a lot better than Steve Johnson's, although his isn't bad.
Well, Robert Parrish does a few more things than Steve Johnson. Steve has been a big force for them on the offensive end of the court, and the way our efficiency rating is put together, a player who just really does a lot of scoring is not going to score anywhere near as high as someone who contributes in all other areas.
And we're going to take a look at Larry Bird and Kiki Vandeweghe, the two forwards who are matched up here tonight. And you'll see that really proves to be true in that area, as Vandeweghe one-dimensional in the sense that scoring is certainly what he primarily brings to the game. 6:25 to go, first quarter. Celtics 21, Blazers 15. 11 seconds on the shot clock, but Vandeweghe didn't need that. Shot a knuckleball up there and missed.
McHale made him change the shot. I think he may have actually gotten a piece of it.
Boston by 6. Bird with a pass inside to Steve Johnson, and here's a 3-on-2 to Vandeweghe. That was a strange break, but very effective. But look how quickly the Celtics come back. Nice move by Steve Johnson on the double clutch, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point Celtics lead. They led by 6 only 30 seconds ago.
Well, this is what they want. They want to try and get the game into a running, fast-breaking game, and they need to do it by playing good defense and controlling the defensive boards, coming up with some steals. They got the misses that time.
McHale. Steve Johnson with a rebound. Johnson with 4 rebounds already in the ball game. Caldwell Jones with 5. Here's Jones getting around Bird. Steve Johnson can't control it. We've got a jump ball. McHale and Johnson.
Play inside to Caldwell Jones. He gets through the baseline, and the play knocked loose, and then everybody going down after it. And hustle by McHale and Johnson as they tie up for the loose ball.
Johnson kind of stole that jump ball to Vandeweghe. He hits this one just inside the three-point line. 23-9 on the three-point line. That was about 22. It's tied at 21. 5 minutes to go, first quarter.
See both teams shooting exceptionally well here, and a steal by Porter.
That was illegal. Trailblazers by 2. They were down by 6. Timeout, Boston. 4:49 to go, first quarter.
Grand larceny at its best. Porter gets knocked into by Ainge, decides to sneak around on Parrish, who thought he went with Danny. Big surprise for Robert, and 2 points for the Trailblazers. Nice play by Porter.
Terry Porter's averaging about 12.5 points a game, but the thing he does best is plays some great defense, very quick hands, and 5th in the NBA in assists, 8.5 a game. Blazers by 2 points. Danny Ainge gets past Porter, behind the back to Perry. McHale.
They got to screen Kevin McHale off the boards every time. Otherwise, he's going to do just what he did on that last play.
He has 11 to lead all scorers in the game. Caldwell Jones over Bird. He has 5, including his 5 rebounds. Ainge to Bird against Vandeweghe. Wide open Ainge for 3. Danny Ainge.
Ainge had a big game last night against Golden State.
He was 3 for 3 with his 3-pointers. Bird kept it alive behind Steve Johnson. It's 4-on-3. Bird for 3. Jones with his 6th rebound. 25-26. Blazers trail by 1. Drexler puts them in the lead. 27-26 Portland. 3:38 to go first quarter. Good offensive basketball to open this ball game. Wide open full court game. Oh, beautiful move by Parrish, but he lost the hand of the ball. He outran the ball, I think.
Robert made a quick spin as Jim Paxson comes into the game for the Trailblazers. He caught Johnson flat-footed. I think he went so fast that he couldn't control the ball. Surprised himself.
13 seconds on the shot clock. Drexler all over Dennis Johnson against the Parrish pick. Paxson just came in for Porter, as Rick told you. Parrish shoots over Steve Johnson. Robert Parrish. Parrish now has 8 points. And the Celtics go up by 1 as we're on a seesaw in the first quarter. Nice pass to Steve Johnson. Scoops it in. Steve Johnson. He has 9.
Good motion that time on the part of the Portland Trailblazers, especially Steve Johnson. Very active offensively.
McHale against Jones. Shot clock to 8. Dennis Johnson on the baseline missing. McHale with a tip in.
Well, that time the penetration by Dennis Johnson caused the defensive switch, and Caldwell Jones had to go to help stop the man who was penetrating. That left McHale wide open again to get another tip in.
Here it comes again, Rick. Guess how many points McHale has on this Friday the 13th?
13, I bet.
Drexler to Vandeweghe. Paxson on the return pass. Shot clock down to 3. They don't get the shot away. Ainge almost stole it, disrupted the offense. Drexler couldn't get the shot away. It'll belong to Boston. 30-29 Celtics, 2:11 to go, first quarter. There's Mike Schuler.
Yeah, and Steve Jones in the background, a former player who whipped me in tennis today, that dirty rat.
He's still, that doesn't happen very often. I'm going to maybe get up a little wager next time on that one. Here's Parrish. Rebound Paxson. I'll bet on you the next time, though, knowing your competitive nature. Vandeweghe. Beautiful move by Kiki, taking it to the hole. Vandeweghe with 9. 31-30 Portland. Parrish travel, and it'll go over to Portland, leading by 1 with 1:42 to go in the quarter.
Actually looked like Robert had gotten tripped by Paxson, who dropped back in. Let's see if we can see it. Now watch Paxson, the right of your screen, come back in. Robert comes in here. Paxson moves. Watch the foot right there. He kicked him with his left foot against Robert's right foot, which made him move that right foot and caused the traveling.
Jerome Kersey handling the ball just in for Portland. Steve Johnson going right past Parrish for the jam.
The quickness of Johnson causes a problem for the opposing centers. That's why he's been such a factor for them.
Blazers by 3. A lot of East Coast viewers don't get a chance to see the teams like Portland on television a whole lot. And that's why you may not know as much about Steve Johnson as you'd like. Danny Ainge missing. Steve Johnson rebounding.
And 3 white shirts and only 1 green one underneath the boards. They're doing a good job controlling.
Kersey missing. It's Bird to Ainge. 3 against 4. Ainge pulls up and hits it. Now 1 point Portland lead with 58 seconds to go in the quarter. It's been a beautiful first quarter.
Well, the type of pace that the Trailblazers wanted, the Celtics staying right with them.
Remember, the Celtics played last night down in Oakland. Drexler fouled by Parrish. That's his second. And here comes the bench help. Darren Day into the ball game. Greg Kite for the Boston Celtics. And we're also going to get Kevin Duckworth.
Oh, I'm not even ready for this.
This is my favorite guy because of the duck bill, the duck walk, the duck hook.
Duck in, duck out.
It's caught on here in Portland. As a matter of fact, they're handing out duck calls and duck bills to some of the crowd. Rick got a chance to take a look at one earlier, and now Jerry Seasting comes in for Dennis Johnson as the second units are on the floor. Seasting out of Purdue. And there's Darren Day, number 20, stepping in his place out of UCLA.
Now, this is where the Trailblazers should really try to capitalize if they can. They certainly have, I think, more depth than Boston Celtics. It's the Celtics starters who really are the ones that carry the load for Boston.
Trailblazers by 2, 37 seconds to go in the quarter. Ainge got around Paxson. Attempted to get it to Kite, missed it long to Boston with 33 seconds to go in the quarter. What'd you think of the duck bill, Rick? That,
I don't know. You judge for yourself.
What do you think? Courtesy Kevin Duckworth. Danny Ainge to McHale. And it's tied at 34. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Paxson, Duckworth, Caldwell Jones, and Jerome Kersey in there for Portland right now.
Some guys would do anything to get on the air.
I know. I would have, if I'd have known I'd have had my picture on TV, I'd have gladly worn the duck bill. Shot clock down to 6. 5, 4, Paxson. Loose ball foul. May have been on Duckworth. It is. Duckworth only weighs 280 pounds from Eastern Illinois University. He was drafted by San Antonio, came in the trade for Walter Ferris. 2 seconds left in the quarter. Kite can't get the shot away. At the end of one, it's knotted at 34. We've got a beauty on our hands here, which is not surprising when these two teams get together. Stay with us from Portland, Oregon. A plethora of NBA action coming your way. Monday, it'll be the Nets at Milwaukee. Skip Carey, Bill Russell have that ball game for you, 8:05 Eastern Time. Then Thursday, Rick and I will be in Houston to see these Celtics play Houston. And then on Friday, the Lakers will be at Chicago with Mel Proctor, Red Auerbach.
You do that right. They gave us a sheet of paper. It says Thursday, Celtics, Houston. You guys are the talent.
You and me, you guys. There are the stats at the end of the first quarter. You see Portland shooting 61 to 57 on a percentage, and Portland tied in the game thanks to 3 more free throws. You can hear duck calls. There's Casey Jones. You can hear duck calls going off all over this building tonight as they handed out duck calls and duck bills to fans tonight. So it sounds like it's hunting season here.
Well, as you say, Duckworth has found a home, and what more appropriate place than in the wet and damp Pacific Northwest. I mean, this is the Ducks' haven.
Duck weather. There's a duck pick for Paxson. Off the screen set for the 280-pound Kevin Duckworth. He's providing that backup center help. Of course, Sam Bowie out with the injury.
Celtics with 4 reserves in the ball game. Should be interesting to see how well they do in this stretch.
Seasting ties it at 36. Jerome Kersey, Paxson, Porter, Duckworth, and Vandeweghe in there for Portland right now. Kersey, quick move. They're calling goaltending on Greg Kite.
Well, see, that's one of the advantages of the great jumping ability of Kersey, who we saw in our slam dunk coverage on All-Star Saturday. He got so high when he actually released the ball, as you'll see him coming across the middle, he's actually just shooting the ball down towards the basket. Look how high he is. Now it's going down, so when Kite blocks it, it's goaltending.
Here's Sam Vincent, about 17. Sam Vincent, second year from Michigan State. Only playing about 10 minutes.
Jerome wanted to dunk that one, but he was just a little bit too far out.
We'll probably see a Kersey dunk here. Finished second in that competition. You picked him as his dark horse, second to Michael Jordan. Nice pass from Paxson. He's fouled, and he gets the continuation.
Loose ball foul is going to be on Kite away from the ball. You watch Kite battling with Duckworth. Now locked down the middle. Paxson comes. He continues. And now Kite had banged against Duckworth before the actual play went. But Jake O'Donnell ruled that the play should continue even though the foul had occurred before he shot the ball. That's very unusual to see that, a foul off the ball and letting the play go.
Bird back into the ball game.
And they're trying to put Paxson on the line. You see, Jim Paxson was just up on the line, and Jake says, wait a second.
This is an interesting
Wrong guy.
three-point conversion situation.
Yes.
That's the first time I've seen it for sure this year. Duckworth goes to the free throw line. He only plays about 10 minutes a game.
That's about 10 more than he was getting when he was with San Antonio.
Exactly. He's Mike Sheeler said he's happy with the contribution this young man has made.
Well, they're happy down there with Walter Berry.
No tips. Celtics ball with 13 seconds on the shot clock. It's 41-38 Portland. Sam Vincent to Bird. Shot clock to 5. Bird against Kersey. How did he get around Kersey?
Because Kersey was leaning against him, and when a guy leans against you, you know exactly where he is. You can feel his weight, and you know which way you can go to beat him.
It's 41-40. Trailblazers by 1. 10-16 to go in the quarter. Duckworth on the floor. Nice hustle by the rookie. Shot clock to 5 for 3. Far short from Paxson. Has not been shooting as well this year as he has in past years. Vincent to Seasting, but Paxton knocks it out of bounds. Trailblazers by 1. We're talking about Walter Berry. He has really come around.
Now here's Larry Bird. Now see Kersey leaning. He knows he's on his right side, so if I spin left, I've gotten beat because he's on my right hip.
Vincent gets past Porter. He's fouled.
They're counting the basket.
They're going to count a goaltending on that.
Now let's see if the ball was indeed on his downward path. As you see the good penetration on the part of Vincent. Now he goes up for the shot. Kersey coming up. The ball looked like it was still going up to me, Bob.
And it didn't appear to be above the cylinder either, although that angle couldn't give you exactly. Jerome Kersey, great, tremendous leaping ability. Kersey from Longwood College in Virginia, another NAIA school. I'm going to pick up and tell you about Walter Berry. As you know, he was unhappy not playing at all here in Portland. Went to San Antonio, and he's really doing well down there. In a moment, we'll tell you a little bit about how he's doing. Up to it. Anyway, misses badly now. Celtics by 2, 9:33 to go in the quarter.
Casey Jones has to be very pleased with the job that this group is doing.
Tight. Seasting. Wanted to go back to Kite, but didn't see it, and it'll belong to Portland. At Portland, Walter Berry was averaging 1.9 points, just not playing at all. In San Antonio, 14.5 points, shooting 57%, playing about 20 minutes a game.
Well, he's happy there. He had a bad attitude when he was here. It changed when he went to San Antonio. This will happen with a lot of players. We talk so much, Bob, about a player being in the right place at the right time, and this is certainly the case with Walter Berry as Johnson comes back into the ballgame. Walter was not pleased here. He had the bad attitude. I'm not saying that was the right thing at all for him to be doing, but now he's in a situation that he likes. He's gotten on a team that's giving him a chance to play, and he's performing for them.
Seasting with the foul that belonged to the Trailblazers. 2 team fouls on the Celtics, 1 team foul for the Blazers. 9:03 to go in this quarter. Paxson really having trouble with his long-range shooting in this quarter. Sam Vincent. Nice feed to Darren Day. Darren Day, Michael Holton, Kiki Vandeweghe have something in common. See if you can think of what it is, basketball fans. Porter down the lane, blocked by Bird. He was fouled first. And I think that's on Seasting also.
I want to get a close-up of Tom Smith, our director, get a close-up of Steve Johnson right now, if we could, for us. Because Steve Johnson, who's done so much, we've talked a lot about Steve Johnson. This young man, I want you to know that there's someone who beat him out for the Freshman of the Year honors in the Pac-10. And it's a guy that's in our truck right now. A fellow by the name of Kim Belton, our producer.
Kim Belton, our producer from Stanford.
Yes, from Stanford. And although this young man you're seeing here is now making a lot more money than Kim Belton is making.
That's not what I hear. That's not what I hear.
Of course, he doesn't have an expense card, expense account.
The way Kim Belton spends that Ted Turner money, I don't know. If you add up all the perks. Celtics 45, Blazers 42, 8:32 to go, second quarter. Larry Bird backing in.
And the Eagle defense, Kiki Vandeweghe, he was decided, they're going to say count the basket instead. he was calling an illegal defense because Kiki Vandeweghe started to go to double team, didn't go, and then they let the play continue and gave him the basket. Very strange indeed. Watch Kiki 55, center of your screen. He starts to go, then he kind of stops. Now he's caught. They're going to go ahead and call it, but Bird continued and took the shot, so they gave him the basket.
Now we've got a call. The foul is on Greg Kite. That's the 4th team foul against the Celtics. Could the official's decision been that he was in the act of shooting when he called the illegal defense?
Obviously, that's what he interpreted.
5-point lead for the Celtics. Kersey from long range. Pulls out. Right there. Pull-up jump shot by Jerome Kersey. Not his strong suit. Bird quickly around Kersey, but he came back and batted it off the glass.
Porter was the one that got the ball on that one, Bob. It was a good move again by Larry Bird as he had Kersey jerking around back and forth. Now he gets him leaning forward. That little lean is all you need to beat the man, but there's Porter with a nice block. And then the foul reaching back in to get the rebound.
3-point Celtic lead, 7:53 to go in the second. We've got some more substitutes coming back into the ballgame now. Robert Parrish re-entering the game for the Celtics.
Those youngsters who are watching the ball game, and for those fellows a little older who like to still go out and play, and there's a lot of them, that's exactly what you need to do in the game. You saw Larry Bird. He didn't try to do things quickly. Just a nice little deliberate kind of fake. Get the defense moving a little bit. And the moment you've got him moving, you can just react to him and go the opposite way, which is exactly what Larry Bird. There was a classic move on the part of Bird.
Steve Johnson at the free throw line. First points in this quarter for Johnson. He had 11 at the end of one. Has 12 now in the game. Steve Johnson's the answer to a trivia question about NCAA field goal percentage. Now I'm giving away the answer. I never know how to say that without giving away the answer. Steve
You
Johnson.
must be wonderful giving surprise parties.
I'm giving you a surprise party. Can you be there at 8 Friday? Yeah, I never figured that out. Celtics by 1, 7:44 remaining in the second quarter. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. Here's Sam Vincent.
Basket by Vincent.
And it's a 3-point Celtics lead. By the way, the answer to that question earlier, speaking of that, about Vandeweghe, Holton, and Darren Day, they all three played together at one time at UCLA. Holton and Day, two of those great rookies. There's a foul away from the ball as Day was trying to fight through a pick. His former teammate.
Well, he did fight through the pick. However, he was holding Kiki as he was fighting through the pick.
That's how he got through there.
1+1 for Vandeweghe.
And now two of the starters for the Celtics will be coming back in. They got plenty of rest. McHale and Dennis Johnson, along with Clyde Drexler. Casey Jones, I'm sure, very pleased to work with some of his key players. Such an extended rest period, and to find his team still leading by 2.
Paxson, Drexler there, number 22. Clyde the Glide. Well, there's a consistent scorer for you. Kiki Vandeweghe has played a big role here in Portland. Everybody talked about that big Denver-Portland trade. A lot of people thought that Denver got the best of it, but Vandeweghe has certainly done a nice job. Nice feed, nice basket. Johnson to Larry Bird.
No, he made that look so easy. That is not an easy shot. He shot it with the right hand, had to put reverse spin on it, and he made it look very simple.
Oh, come on! Jackson has it blocked by Parrish. It'll belong to the Trailblazers. And timeout for Portland. We'll be back in just a moment to Memorial Coliseum, sold out for the 425th consecutive time.
From our handheld ground level camera, watch Steve Johnson in the middle of the picture as DJ, who's screened out now behind Drexler, 22, makes the pass to Bird on the cut as he gets past Vandeweghe. Steve Johnson had no idea where Larry Bird was when he made the cut. It was too late for him to react and help. And as a result, Larry Bird with the nice cut to the basket, the good assist by Dennis Johnson, who you're looking at now, and another 2 points for the Celtics and Larry Bird.
Portland with 24 seconds on the shot clock, trailing the Celtics by 3. There's the percentage. That's Boston shooting nearly 89%. And it's a 1-point Celtics lead. Drexler. Drexler has 7 points.
Bob, can you believe it? The Clippers won a game.
Well, let's hear it for the Los Angeles Clippers beating San Antonio 110-96.
Well, McHale didn't waste any time getting on the scoreboard after that long rest.
17 points already for McHale, and those were his first points in this quarter as he's been on the bench previously. 6:25 remaining in the second. Celtics by 3. Johnson misses the layup. It belonged to Portland. They say Kersey got it off of Bird's leg. That's something Bird would normally pull. Drexler was a mile high when he released that jump shot. 1-point Celtics lead. Vincent got trapped in the corner over there, but Johnson gets open. Something the Celtics do so well is help out. The team concept is out of bounds, belongs to Boston with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Ainge comes into the ball game for Sam Vincent. Cale. Parrish with a rebound and the fake. He misses it, but he's fouled.
Well, he got a couple members of the old paratrooper club on that little fake that time, and as we have seen happen so often, usually they pay their dues. In that case, Kersey picking up foul.
His first. And Parrish goes to the free throw line. Parrish is averaging 18 points a game, 10.8 rebounds. He's 10th in the league. And look at the disparity in free throws. Only the 3rd free throw for Boston. Caldwell Jones is in for Kersey. Kersey, one of the better 6 men in the league.
Very exciting player to watch, Bobby. He has great athletic ability. I think all of the coaches will agree to that. He just has to learn how to harness it and use it more effectively, and that will come with time. Fine young man, very enjoyable to talk to. And I told him that I was really proud of him because he helped me to look good when I picked him as the dark horse candidate, so I thanked him for that.
Yeah, he and Michael Jordan put on quite a show. Slam dunk competition on All-Star Saturday. Anyway, he was in the long-distance shootout. Paxson down to Steve Johnson. He's 5 out of 6 shooting the ball, but decides to give it up and lose it. 3-point Celtics lead on the run now. Cale has it stripped away. Nice defensive play by Caldwell Jones.
Speaking of putting on a show of Jordan and also Jerome Kersey, Michael is still putting on a show. He had 45 in the Chicago win over Seattle tonight.
Ainge hits it from long distance. He was another performer at All-Star Saturday in the long distance shootout.
Yeah, but he was a jump shooter. Had trouble with that three-pointer shooting that jump shot.
Celtics by 5 now. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Van de Ven missing. Rebound, Clyde Drexler. Cale fouled by Caldwell Jones on the turnaround attempt on the right baseline. It's 57-54 Celtics, 4:41 to go in the quarter. 5 team fouls. Celtics are in the penalty, and that was the 3rd team foul against Portland. Cale was in the act of shooting.
Talking to Dennis Johnson before the game, Dennis is shooting up somewhere around 44%, and the guys tease him about it, and he said, hey, you guys have to understand something. He said, all of those championships teams that I was on, I was only shooting around 42%. He said, so I don't go out and shoot before the games anymore. He said, I'm trying to get my percentage down.
Cale rattles a couple of free throws in to have 19 points on his total now, leading all scorers in the game. Van de Ven and Drexler have 11 each. Celtics 59, Blazers 54. Into Johnson, jump hook over Parrish.
Now he got open because there was a good screen set on him, which enabled him to get the position low. They screened Robert Parrish, enabling Johnson to get that good low position.
And Johnson, we talk about his high field goal percentage. He's 6 out of 7 tonight for 15 points. Shot clock down to 11 away on the foul. On Johnson as Parrish moves to the hoop.
He's done a good job of learning not to get in foul difficulty. He's had a problem like that before, as we have a 20-second timeout, and he's doing a much better job of keeping himself in the ball games.
4:09 to go in the quarter. It's only a 20-second timeout, and the Celtics have a 3-point lead, 59-56. Hope you'll stay with us at halftime for the Prudential Sports Update. Charlie Neal will be in our studios in Atlanta. Going to have a feature on Sam Bowie. As a matter of fact, the man who interviews Sam Bowie, our own Bill Russell, talking to the big guy.
I saw Sam before the game, Bob, and he said the leg feels very good, but I also saw the leg, and he said he still has a problem with it puffing up on him, and I would not want my leg looking like that. Now watch this play, how he got the low position on Johnson. You see, coming in right here, the screen was set by Clyde Drexler on Robert Parrish, enabling Johnson to get down on the block real low. So that was a good play by Drexler. As we're back to live action.
Bird against Vandeweghe. Gets help from Drexler, but there's what Bird does so well. He finds the open man. Drexler left Johnson to double team. Bird immediately saw Dennis Johnson. He hit it from 16 feet.
That's like a license to steal when you go and double Larry Bird. He's going to find the open man probably 95% of the time.
A lot of time, because some teams, when you look at the Boston lineup, here's Johnson with the jump hook. Gets his own rebound. Going to put it back up. But look at the rebounding power of the Trailblazers. They've got 18 on the shot clock. They kept getting a new one, of course. Dennis Johnson playing the good D. Paxson running and shooting. Missing. Tip in Drexler.
Well, that was just an awesome display of tenacity on the part of the Portland Trailblazers, giving themselves all of those opportunities to finally get it down and score.
Bird gets hammered as he drives. I think that's Steve Johnson. It is. That's his second foul. What I was talking about, a lot of teams have a substitute here. Paxson goes out and Porter comes in. Take a look at this replay first.
Well, we'll watch the tenacity on the defense. This is about the 5th time they've tried it. Paxson misses, and Drexler sneaks right inside as Dennis Johnson didn't screen him off the board that time. But that was because there was some good ball movement, and Dennis was going over to try and help.
Bird misses the front end of the free throw. Very rare, as he is second in the league in free throws at 91%. Misses them both. You won't see that more than a couple of times this season. 3:05 to go in the quarter.
In fact. I see you too, Bob. He didn't like that at all.
It'll belong to the Celtics. I was making a point about Dennis Johnson. The Celtics have a timeout here very quickly because 4 of the 5 starters score so well for Boston. Often they drop off Dennis Johnson to double team the man with the ball. But then what happens? Johnson scores. You know, this is the longest consecutive sellout string in any professional sport here. 425 consecutive sellouts. And they have a good product. Trailblazers are interested. 3-point Celtics lead, 2:41 to go in the quarter. McHale.
21 already for McHale with limited playing time here in the second period, where they had 15 in the first quarter.
Vandeweghe. This is the reverse, but there's Steve Johnson, and he'll go to the line. And check that, it's 426 consecutive sellouts here. This is the 426th.
That's 3rd on Robert Parrish. There's Kiki with a good drive to the hoop. Robert comes over to help out. Nice spin move. I mean, reverse move. It doesn't go in, but Johnson, who was left open because Parrish had to go and help on the penetration, was the man who did the damage. And you see that happen so often, and that's why coaches love to have a player who can penetrate the opposing team's defense.
Steve Johnson converts the 3-point opportunity, and the Boston Celtics lead by 2 with 2:18 to go in quarter number 2.
They're probably going to get Robert Parrish out of the game with 3 fouls. Casey doesn't want him picking up that 4th one here in the first half.
Bird banks it off the glass as he got the nice screen out high. Celtics back by 4 now. Celtics ball, and the fans wanted a foul there as Kiki Vandeweghe was hit pretty hard by Bird away from the ball.
Well, after the play was over, Larry just put a hand right on the back of Kiki and gave him a shove. They were having a little banging going on. Obviously, Larry wasn't pleased with what had transpired prior to that pass inside that went awry.
Ainge driving and scoring.
That was a tough shot by Danny Ainge. He got hit pretty good going to his left, had to come back to shoot it with his right hand, and shot it on the line drive, and he has a chance to complete a 3-point opportunity as Jerome Kersey comes back in.
Vandeweghe got the foul. There's Jerome Kersey, number 25, back in the ballgame. That was Vandeweghe's first personal foul. Ainge gets one and converts the 3-point opportunity. 67-61 Celtics.
Well, he just increased his lead over Larry Bird in the free throw derby, with Larry missing those prior to and traveling.
There's a nice move by Terry Porter. An extra step thrown in. That's a full moon. Friday the 13th. Anything can happen.
Do some strange things on these evenings.
Bird against Vandeweghe. To Johnson, who was coming off a baseline screen. But Drexler was there to force Johnson to change his shot. Celtics are up by 7 now. They're up by 2 just moments ago. For 3, Vandeweghe. In and out. Kersey had a man open. Didn't go, and Kersey is hammered to the floor by Dennis Johnson. He's all right.
Kersey goes to the basket with some great authority on this one, puts a lot of power into it. DJ reaches out, grabs him down by the lower part of the arm, catches him, and just yanks him back as he was going to try and go in for the jam.
Brought some boos out of the crowd. 1:04 to go in the second quarter. Makes it a 6-point Celtics lead. Full court pressure now. It's so tough to trap the Celtics. Kersey tripped on his own feet, went to the ground. The ball will belong to
Hold it.
Boston.
Kevin McHale has hurt his left ankle.
Seems to be injured.
I don't know if he got kicked or if he twisted a little bit. It looks like it might have been just a twist. To try and see if we can find out what happened as Ainge comes down inside. Kersey trips against the right foot as you saw him hit against Ainge there and falls into Kevin McHale, and that's where it almost like a clip except coming from the front side. Kevin looks like he's okay, although he is still moving that leg around. Every time DJ's touching it right now, the fans booing because of that foul he committed on Kersey.
There's Johnson from long range. Rebound Caldwell Jones. That's his 7th rebound of this game. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. What a nice pass. Kersey missed the layup.
Well, that's the one he should have jammed.
Porter just takes it right back. It's tipped out of bounds. Good team defense by the Celtics. It'll belong to Portland. They have 19 seconds on the shot clock, 28 to go in the quarter.
Is that amazing, Bob? He'll try to dunk, jumping from about 12 feet from the basket, and he's right underneath, and he just tries to lay it up easily.
Blazers can pull to within 4. Running some clock. Shot clock down to 10, 9, and counting now. There's the time left in the quarter in the lower right-hand corner of your screen.
Well, if they score the basket, it'll work out okay. Kersey wouldn't feel bad because it denies the Celtics a chance to score.
Drexler misses, and then Kersey gets the lay-in with 6 seconds to go in the quarter. Ainge for 3, and he misses. At the end of the half, it's a 2-point ball game. Celtics 68. Blazers 64. Coming up now, Charlie Neal in our studios in Atlanta and the Prudential Sports Update. Well, it's Duck Bill night, and it's also Duck Call night in honor of Kevin Duckworth of the Portland Trailblazers. Very good ball game here. 2-point Boston Celtics lead at halftime. Boston's running well, shooting well, but rebounding belongs to Portland so far.
Well, yes, it really has, but it has been the type of tempo that head coach Mike Schuller would like to have, but the Boston Celtics can run the break as well as anyone, and they did it with some good defense. Danny Ainge will come up with a good defensive play as he drops in, steals that bounce pass by Porter. He'll take off to the races, get it to Bird in the middle, and there go 4 Celtics back. And Larry Bird, one of his 8 assists, will hit Kevin McHale, who had one of his 21 points, the leading scorer. But for the Portland Trailblazers, we talked about Steve Johnson, a player you haven't heard a lot about. There's a good screen on the part of Drexler on Parrish. Ainge does not switch off. That enables Steve Johnson to get the good low position against Parrish, and on the blocks he goes up for the nice little jump hook, and that's 2 of his 18 points. And it was an excellent effort on the part of Steve Johnson for the Trailblazers. And the Celtics, with that 4-point lead, have to do a better job on the boards as you look at the efficiency rating and what Steve Johnson has done against Robert Parrish. And Johnson, a big improvement, Bob.
Absolutely. Johnson could be, if you look at this, at the halfway point of what their possibilities could be. If he plays the same way the second half, he could have like a 28 efficiency rating, would be very high. And on the other hand, Parrish is kind of on target for what his efficiency rating might be.
He normally averages 17. Johnson only 12, so he's way ahead. As we look at the stats, the field goal 63% for Boston. Great shooting. Trailblazers slipped down a little bit, but the rebounds 27 to 6 and 12 offensive rebounds, only 4 for Boston. That has been a big factor, giving Portland a lot more opportunities at the free throw line. They've got 6 more points from the line.
Said 2-point halftime game. It's 4, of course, 68-64. Boston leading. Boston with the ball on the missed Trailblazers shot. We're underway in the second half from Portland, Oregon, Memorial Coliseum. 426th consecutive sellout. Bird against Vandeweghe. Shot clock down to 7. The left-handed running hook, Larry Bird.
Now, Larry Bird was born left-handed, and he started to do things right-handed when he was very young. I always was wondering why his left hand was so good, and he told me that he was originally a lefty.
Boston with a rebound, 70-64. Celtics lead. They own the ball.
Signs with his left hand when he signs autographs.
And checks. Bird from long range. Shot it even too far then. Terry Porter for the open man.
The mismatch inside, Johnson against DJ, an illegal defense would be called against Larry Bird, who was stuck right in the middle of the 3-second area trying to help out.
Bird probably plays the illegal defense better than anybody in the league, if there's such thing as playing the illegal defense best.
Well, because he understands what the game is about. He knows what the rules are, and he uses them to his advantage.
Ball stripped away, then controlled by Bird.
Or I should say he cheats probably better than anybody else.
He'll do anything he can to win. He says it himself. He said one of the reasons somebody said you're a great player. Do you have any reasons you think you are? And he says, because I come to play every night. That's not a cliche.
Well, they obviously went for the isolation, and they got Porter to be called for it against the Trailblazers that time by going into that isolation move where they brought the rest of the team up high. Take a look at where all the rest of the team are. They're off the screen, and then I would see Porter, and that Porter's stuck right in that area and not really double teaming, and that's the illegal defense.
So both teams have one illegal defense call against them. The next time that'll be called against either team will be a technical free throw. 70-64 Celtics. McHale hammered as he drives.
Now see, again, McHale knew exactly where Caldwell Jones was. He was laying against the left shoulder of McHale. McHale made the move to the baseline, enabling him to get half a body against a man. You get half a body against anyone, and you're going to have them difficulty when you're going to the basket, and that's exactly what took place on that move.
Caldwell Jones with the personal. He has 2. And Kevin McHale, averaging 26.5 points per game, 4th in the NBA. Now has 23 points as he gets his first 2 of the 3rd period. His season high is 38. McHale has a shot at bettering that tonight. Is Vandeweghe just inside the 3-point line. Vandeweghe's jumper's been off tonight. It'll belong to Portland. Only 1 second ticked off the 24-second clock. But Vandeweghe's kind of like a tailback who only has 38 yards at halftime and 15 carries. He's going to break loose soon. Like now.
And I'd like to see Kiki do more of that. He's a great outside shooter, but he puts the ball on the floor exceptionally well. And I think he should go to the basket more often. Get him to the free throw line. He's a great free throw shooter, and that's the type of game that he should play, a more well-rounded game.
Hale on the turnaround. This Porter on the run. 3-on-3. Bird came down to even numbers, but there comes Caldwell Jones missing. Drexler. And then Jones.
And Portland dominating the offensive glass. They had 3 more opportunities on that try alone, so that's like 15-4 on the offensive boards against the Celtics, a team that usually controls the boards.
Celtics by 4. Dennis Johnson left open there on the double team, and he hits it. Golden State kept double teaming the ball last night when Boston played in Oakland, and Dennis Johnson kept getting open and kept hitting points last night at 20. Check that he had 14. 74-68 Celtics.
Caldwell Jones wide open. They finally find him. Carter Parrish lost him totally.
Dennis Johnson, Celtics by 4. To Bird. Dennis Johnson again. Off the glass, shot it short. Steve Johnson, look at him run the court. Tipped out of bounds by Age.
Bounce pass to Drexler that time would have been the play to make, but of course he's not a point guard. He's a center running the break. You look at Bird fighting over here. You see the screens as Vandeweghe pops out on one side. Drexler comes out to the right side, and there wide open underneath is Caldwell Jones as Robert Parrish just lost his man.
Drexler on the fadeaway over Johnson. Rebound McHale.
14 points to 8 for Boston off of those offensive rebounds, and Celtics are lucky that Portland's not converting a higher percentage.
McHale's rebounding at 10, the rate of 10 a game. Had only 3 at halftime, 4 in this game now. Here's Parrish. Shot clock to 5. Caldwell Jones up high. 12th rebound of the game for Caldwell Jones. And away, 20. Vandaway 6 of 15 shooting, but he hit his last 2. 2-point game. 7:53 to go third.
And 8 just a minute or so ago.
Dennis Johnson open on deflection. Terry Porter to Steve Johnson.
Hot potato for a moment there. Good block by Bird.
Oh, Johnson with a beautiful pass, but even Bird couldn't handle it. 2-point Celtics lead. Portland can tie. 7:27 to go in the third quarter.
Now, both teams just a bit ragged with the handling of the ball on the last few possessions here.
Drexler's traffic. Caldwell Jones. And it's tied, and Jones has 11 points. Caldwell Jones playing well tonight. 12 rebounds, 11 points. McHale. That's his patented move. It's number 974329064 in case you're interested in patent numbers. McHale's 10 out of 13 from the floor tonight. 25 points already. Celtics by 2. Three-pointer. He was 3 for 3 last night. He's got 2 3-pointers. I don't know if he's missed one. He has 13 points in the game. 2 for 4.
Caldwell Jones with a good follow-up on that miss. Had to clear a path because no one had picked him up as he came down as the trailer.
Caldwell Jones has guess how many points on Friday the 13th.
12.
Larry Bird on the fadeaway.
It's an impossible shot to stop.
Caldwell Jones season highs 15 points. So his next basket will tie that. Foul on Boston. Let's see who is on. Wait a minute.
Parrish is fourth. He can't believe it.
Check that. It is Parrish, and he can't believe it, as you say, Rick. That's 4, and that'll be a tough situation for the Celtics now because we have 5:43 to go in only the third quarter. Celtics lead by 5.
Last play. Don't think the Celtics packed the defense in. Look at all 5 of those players as they were down low. Drexler making that first free throw. Of course, the result of that last play by Drexler on that drive was the 4th foul against Robert Parrish, who could have a very important impact on this ball game. Craig Kite is in the ball game, replacing Robert Parrish.
Celtics by 4, 5:40 to go in the third quarter. I don't know. We may or may not have a chance to see a replay again. Did you think that Parrish did impact the foul?
Well, there was contact. We have a foul being called down here. Offensive foul.
It's going to be on Larry Bird, his first of the game. Trying to get somebody loose off a screen. Johnson couldn't find him, took it in himself.
McHale with the block.
Very tight with a loose ball into the ball game now for the Celtics during that timeout. And McHale will go to the line. That's the third foul on Caldwell Jones.
Caldwell is doing an outstanding job filling in for the injured Kenny Carr this evening, and he's already got double figures in rebounds, had that in the first half. Scored some points and has done a reasonably decent job. Of course, he was on the bench sometime when McHale was scoring some of those points, but McHale himself, Bob, spent 4 minutes on the bench getting some rest, played 20 minutes in the first half.
Celtics 83, Blazers 77. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Paxson into the ball game for Portland now. Nice pass to Drexler from Steve Johnson.
That's excellent spin by Drexler when Ainge tried to front him. Good pass by Johnson as well.
Seasting. For Dennis Johnson. McHale just battling Caldwell Jones, and after the fact, really, the whistle sounds, and Caldwell Jones with 4 fouls trying to stop Kevin McHale.
Now watch this play before. This is Drexler. See, Ainge tries the front, moves to the left side. Drexler saw him going, made the spin move to the baseline, and an excellent pass by Johnson for those 2 points. We're back to live action. McHale with 2 more.
29 points for Kevin McHale. And here's the problem for Portland in trying to stop Kevin McHale tonight. You know, Boston just finds whoever they need to go to. Mike Schuler has got a real problem. Who does he bring in to replace Caldwell Jones to play him? Is it Duckworth? Is it Kersey? Is it you switch Steve Johnson? What do you do?
I would think Kersey would be the man. He's got a little bit more quickness. There's Kersey getting off the bench right now.
Off the pick, 60. Kersey set to come into the ball game, and that may very well be the case, Rick.
And now it's a 9-point lead, 8-point lead again for the Celtics, and the Trailblazers continually have to fight back. And how long can you keep doing that?
Bird with a rebound. Seasting running. Has Ainge down court on the baseline corner. Pass into McHale. Saves it nicely to Seasting. And there's the hustle of Ainge for 3. And away has Drexler on the right, Paxson over on the left. Drexler pulls it up. Drexler with a loose ball foul after his miss. That's his second foul of the ball game. Now Kersey comes in for Caldwell Jones, so we'll keep our eye on Jerome Kersey. And now Kersey's going to be on Kite, and they put Steve Johnson on McHale.
Yeah, I think that could be very interesting to see. Making Johnson have to work so much harder on defense may take something away from his offense.
Over there on the right of your screen, you see Johnson against McHale. Here's Bird. Scoring over Vandeweghe.
Of course, Kersey has only 1 personal foul, as does Steve Johnson, so they're not, or 2 for Steve Johnson he has. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's the old problem. Everybody faces it. Portland matches up just about as well as anybody else on McHale, but now they've got the problem. Kite got away with a push on Steve Johnson. Celtics running. Seasting off the glass. Rattles it in.
And Mike Schuler wisely calling the timeout.
It's 91-79 Celtics. 3:10 to go in the third quarter. And how you going to stop Kevin McHale? He has 29.
Portland still dominating there in the rebounding department, but the Boston Celtics controlling the scoreboard, where it all boils down to.
Portland only shooting 33%, 7 for 21 in this half. Kersey from 18. Drexler kept it alive. Here's Kersey. Nice move down the line, but credit the good play to Drexler.
And another offensive rebound for the Portland Trailblazers.
Celtics lead by 10.
Celtics are just shooting such a great percentage. That's what's been keeping them in the ball game.
Got clock to 10. Ainge for 3. Oh, they can really put you away with the 3-point shooters. And Bird and Ainge start hitting those. That's Danny Ainge's 3rd of this game.
3 for 6 in 3-point range.
Ainge's 3rd in the league. That percentage is 46%. Steve Johnson battling it in. Steve Johnson's just 6'10". He's not one of the 7-foot towers in the NBA.
I can't remember seeing a game where the Boston Celtics have had another team dominate them so much on the offensive board.
Yet Boston leads by 11. Kersey trying to stop Bird on this one, and Bird hits over Jerome Kersey. Bird's bigger than Kersey by a couple of inches.
23-8 in points off of offensive boards. Portland over Boston, Bob. 22-5 in the actual number. That's an incredible statistic. Yet a big 13-point lead.
Just what they didn't need was a turnover, but Portland gets away with it as McHale misses. Portland a little disorganized right now. I tend to wonder if they don't need Terry Porter back in there. He's their leader on the floor. Vandeweghe.
Well, everything's coming from the outside right now. The Boston shut down the inside game, except for the offensive rebounds. And Portland's missing, and they're lucky they're getting those offensive boards.
Tight misses. Let's just listen to some of this sound here on the break. Oh, my. Danny Ainge with a steal. Bird for a wide-open three. No foul. Now, we're just going to listen to the sound inside. Drowned out by the sound of boos. They wanted a foul here in Portland. Celtics 96, Blazers 83. 40 seconds to go, third quarter. Well, that's one way to stop McHale from scoring the field goal, is to gang tackle him at the baseline. Drexler with a foul.
Well, Bob, you're all right. Portland, I think, is a bit helter-skelter out there and a bit disorganized. As you see McHale pick up that loose ball and just goes right in as Drexler commits the obvious foul, and he also got fouled by Kersey. But I think one of the reasons is the fact that they are looking to take the outside shot. They're trying a little bit too hard and too quickly to try and get back into this ball game. They did it before by playing good sound defense and coming down and taking the good opportunity shots. In this case, they seem to be forcing the issue a little bit. But this is what happens when you're fighting from behind so often throughout a ball game. You actually reach a point sometimes where it doesn't work for you. And I think that Portland's reached that point right now, and they have to be very careful.
Hale with 31 after those free throws. Steve Johnson was pushed before he shot. That's Greg Kite with the foul, his fourth.
You know, the man that
Kite has, but Kite has 4 and Parrish has 4 fouls. So 2 of the big men for Boston in some foul trouble.
The thing that I feel with the Portland team that I have noticed in the games that we've been able to see them is that Jim Paxson has not been as much of a contributing factor offensively than you were accustomed to seeing him do in years past, in seasons past. He just doesn't seem to be into the flow of things. I don't know if his shot's not working or what's happening as Duckworth comes into the ball game along with Porter. Drexler goes out, and so does Kiki Vandeweghe.
Well, Paxson just not having the same kind of year he normally has. Scoring about 12 points a game. He's playing about 24 minutes.
Well, he can score points, but the thing in the games that we've seen, for some reason, has not been an important factor offensively.
Duckworth with a loose ball foul. It is a 14-point Celtics lead with 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. In a game that had been relatively foul-free, we've had a bunch of them here in the third quarter. It's gone Boston's way, too. And a couple of things. You're talking about Portland's frustration. One, when they shoot so poorly, they get frustrated. And 2, when you get a player like McHale, and it seems to be somebody different every night. It was Ainge who led in scoring last night down in Oakland for Boston. You got a player like McHale who has 31 in this game and can't stop him. You could see where the frustration builds, and it has an effect on both ends of the court. Celtics 100, Blazers 84. We're in the third quarter. That's right, 100 in the third quarter. Paxson misses, but he's fouled by Ainge. That's only the third team foul, but Paxson was in the act of shooting. Check that second team foul. No, even check that. I was just looking at the scoreboard, and the digit was out of place up there. Team fouls 5 on court.
Second personal foul on Ainge.
Ten seconds to go in the third quarter. Down at the lower right-hand corner of your screen. It'll belong to Boston with 4 seconds on the quarter clock.
Now, this is where the good teams will get a good shot with 4 seconds left.
Well, we're looking at a good team here. Let's see. Okay. He's fouled. No, just loses the ball. Into the expensive seats. That was a wild and woolly third quarter. And when it gets out of control, it often belongs to Boston. Boston leads by 14. Boston by 14 on Friday the 13th. We talked about superstition. Look at Danny Ainge. And I love Dennis Johnson's particular ritual. One dribble for every year in the NBA before he shoots his free throws.
I said, DJ, you better not hang around too long. You're going to get penalized because you only have 10 seconds to shoot the ball.
How about Steve Johnson? This is his superstition. He takes complex carbohydrates, by the way, and amino acids. And
Drexler gets there, tries to get there as late as possible, and Porter tries to get there the first one there.
You've no doubt had some. There's Sam Bowie and Kenny Carr, by the way. Bowie, of course, out with the surgery, and Kenny Carr has a herniated disc. What did he tell you about 10 days?
10 days to 3 weeks. You know, it's funny because a lot of the players, I had like pulling teeth to get that information out of them. They say, well, I don't have any superstitions, but what they look at it is as a ritual. I mean, and that really is a superstition, but they don't want to admit to it. I readily admit I was very superstitious. We have a technical foul being shot. Casey Jones was called for one during our timeout, and Porter will shoot the technical. I used to get dressed the same way every time. Exactly the same way.
You mean in the right sock and then the left sock and then whatever it was, huh?
Whatever it was, exactly the same way every time.
You care to, like, chronologically take us through that?
This is true. No, I don't think so. Because we had to start with one of the items.
It's Friday the 13th, and the Celtics have a 13-point lead. Make it 15.
And that's because of Larry Bird with the great left hand.
102-87 Celtics. We're in the fourth and final quarter. Blazers going to have to get back in it right away if they are to battle the Celtics here this time. Here's Porter into the lane. And the big rebound by Parrish. Ziesting on the run. Bird's open at the top of the key. Here's Porter. 102-87 Boston. Paxson just can't buy a basket tonight. It's going to be a foul on Boston. And it's
Robert Parrish.
Or wait a minute, or no, maybe Kite. No, it is Parrish. Check that. It is Kite, and it is his fifth personal foul.
Saw the big fist go up by the official. Didn't see the other hand. So
he signaled 0-5, as a matter of fact. But it's 5-0. Nevertheless, it's on Kite, and it's his fifth. Attempted pass from Porter. The Trailblazers, the Friday the 13th, no question affecting Portland more than Boston tonight. I guess it's the luck of the Irish or something. Nullifies full moon in Friday the 13th for the Celtics. 10:50 to go in this ballgame. Ainge wide open, and once again, the Trailblazers continue to be disorganized. It happened someplace midway through the third quarter.
I don't know if this lineup that they have in there is the lineup that they would need to get back into this ball game, Bob.
Biggest lead of the game is 17, now down to 15 as Johnson jams.
I think Drexler and Kiki need to come back in. They need to get their regulars into the ball game. This team has not played together all that much, and I don't think they're going to have. They're a little disorganized with this group in there. It seems like it'll be even worse.
Ziesting off about 3 screens. 106-89 Celtics. 10 points for Jerry Ziesting off the bench. Steve Johnson, I thought he traveled. A little jump hook will rattle in, and Steve Johnson now has 25 points himself. Johnson scored 40 earlier this year in one of his ball games. That's his season high. 106-91 Celtics by 15.
There's a chance for Portland with Bird and McHale on the bench to try and see if they can chip away at this Celtic lead.
Parrish with the Johnson.
Important time right here for Portland.
Well, you called it earlier, Rick, how Portland will play defense. Percy's jump hook misses. There's Kevin Duckworth in traffic, and he's fouled from behind, probably on Day. Yes, it is.
Casey Jones not wasting too much time getting one of his better players in the ball game as Kevin McHale reports in for Greg Kite.
Here's
3 shots scored.
Kevin Duckworth for a duck shot.
I couldn't resist him. Sorry, Bob.
I better explain that they've handed out duck calls here tonight and duck bills in honor of Duckworth. .106-92 Celtics 9-19. What a nice pass from McHale to Ainge.
Now, see, McHale has done so much that the Portland players are all watching him to see what's happening. And when one of them turned his head, they did the right thing by making the cut to the basket. And McHale, being the good player he is, found the open man for the easy 2.
9 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the fourth quarter from Portland. Celtics 108, Blazers 92, 9:04 to go in the ballgame. Bob Neal, one Rick Barry from Portland, Oregon. Paxson misses, but there's Steve Johnson. Official scorer took one of Johnson's baskets away earlier, so now he has 25 points. It's 108-94, 14-point Celtics lead. Going to have to get some defense.
A lot of it, Bob, and very quickly.
Knocked away by Johnson as they get it into Parrish. It'll belong to Boston. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And just when Portland thinks maybe they're going to stop Boston, here comes Bird and Vandeweghe back into the ballgame. So Darren Day goes out. And Jerome Kersey sits down. I don't know if I want Kersey out of there right now if I'm Portland.
Well, he makes a lot of things happen, and he can hustle, get the rebounds, run the court. I think I'd like to see him in the ball game.
I think he was a little upset about leaving, too. Bad miss. Terry Porter against the entire Celtics team. Nice feed to Paxson. He gets this one to fall.
As I said earlier, I think Portland needs to have their starters back in, and Kiki's come back in, but I'd still like to see Drexler in the ball game. DJ is going to be coming back in from Boston momentarily.
McHale, what a nice move off the glass. McHale with his first fourth quarter points. He now has 33, 5 below his season high of 38. Duckworth finds the open man nicely. One touch pass from Vandeweghe.
Jim Paxson just does not have his rhythm down shooting.
Seasting wisely pulls it up as the Trailblazers get down quickly. 110-96 Boston, 7:42 to go in the ball game. And Paxson's shooting percentages happen to be abysmal tonight. Bird will fall away, rebound Johnson. Steve Johnson's in double-figure rebounds, 12, I believe. Bird, the Porter misses. Trailblazers shooting percentages are just not allowing them to get back in the ballgame. 110-96 Celtics, 7:14 remaining.
And couple that with the fact that they're not controlling the offensive boards like they were throughout this ball game.
Bale against Duckworth. He gets a travel on that one. Dennis Johnson back into the ball game for Jerry Seasting. And the Celtics have that starting lineup in there. Paxson and Porter in the backcourt for Portland. Duckworth, Steve Johnson, and Vandeweghe. The Trailblazers up front. Vandeweghe also missing from long range.
Well, Portland's been almost entirely outside except for those offensive rebounds that they are getting. Their initial moves in offense has not been going inside, and of course the Celtics known for being able to shut down a lot of teams in that area.
Bird off balance. Out of bounds. It'll belong to the Trailblazers. 110-96 Celtics. Porter fouled as he puts the shot up. He'll go to the line. 3 team fouls on the Celtics.
Casey Jones is up pleading his case with Ronnie Nunn over on the sidelines. You see him in the background along with Jimmy Rogers asking, what did they have to do to get to the free throw line, feeling Larry Bird was fouled on the last attempt. An interesting move now by Mike Schuller. Fernando Martin coming into the ball game.
Who almost never plays. Martin only plays usually about 6 minutes a game, if that. Often doesn't play at all. He's played at Club Real Madrid. Rookie in the NBA. Parrish with 5 personal fouls. 110-98 Celtics. 6:25 to go. 12-point lead. Portland still in there.
Of course, the pace of this game has slowed down tremendously.
For 3. This is this one. Bird steals it. You can see it coming, and look at the pass to McHale.
Great players to ever play the game. He has such court sense and awareness. It reminds you so much of Magic Johnson's that we pointed out in our last ball game. Both of them are brilliant.
Jump hook by Duckworth. Actually a duck hook.
You were waiting all night for that, Bob.
Thank you, Kevin. Celtics by 12 with 5:48 to go.
Usually your duck hooks are on the fairways.
You got that right. Bird off the screen. It's stripped away by Vandeweghe, but controlled by Parrish. Ainge wisely found the open Dennis Johnson. And the Celtics continually put on a clinic. Team play, ball movement, finding the open man, rebounding.
Well, if you learn the game the way it was supposed to be played, you can't help but love playing for the Celtics. Bird with another great defensive effort.
It's 3-on-2. What a pass to Ainge. Oh, the Celtics operating like surgeons now. 116-100, 5:10 to go in the ball game. This is one of those nights. The Celtics played like this against Golden State last night. George Karl at Golden State said, I don't know what we could have done to stop them. They were just, everything they did was right. It looks that way again tonight. And now when they smell blood, they get even worse. Oh, boy. By 18, Boston, timeout. Portland, 4:52 to go in this ball game.
Now, this is why Larry Bird has been the MVP 3 consecutive years. Good rebound by Vandeweghe. Makes the mistake keeping it over his head. Bird strips it away, hits the deck going for it. Now, look at the court vision that he has in the sense to get the ball to McHale for the easy stuff. Now the drive by Porter on the good fake. Bird comes to the weak side defense off of Martin. Again, he strips it away. Sees Ainge on the breakaway. The perfect lead pass. Danny stretched out totally, but the ball in perfect position. Another assist for Bird. He's got double figures in that department. Larry Bird showing you why he does not have to score points to be the great player that he is.
Now Boston with some wholesale changes. Connor Henry, number 43, in guarding Drexler right now. Sam Benson into the ball game along with Fred Roberts. Here's Duckworth scoring from the baseline. Kevin Duckworth's a good offensive player, Rick.
I've been impressed by the way that he moves out in the court. He's another one of those players, kind of reminds you of Charles Barkley, a bigger version. You wouldn't think could move like he can, but he does an excellent job moving out there.
Celtics by 16 with 4:24 remaining in the game. McHale 1 point away from his season high. He has 37.
And of course, Drexler now is, as you say, back in the ball game and may have been a little bit too late.
And away, keeps it alive, takes it back up, battles it in. Wanted a foul, none coming. Vandeweghe, by the way, is only 7 of 22 shooting in this game. And Paxson, we talked about him struggling. He's actually 4 of 12, which is awful. Thank you. Just speak your mind. Vincent into McHale. Right on Paxson. 16-point Celtics lead. Martin couldn't have.
I've had enough of those myself to know that's awful.
We were talking about Friday the 13th. It struck Portland. The designated Friday the 13th unlucky person on our crew, though, is our graphics coordinator, Jeff Binke. He's missed his airplane. He lost his luggage, talked to 6 different airlines. Vincent rattles it in.
Call an offensive foul against Vincent. No basket.
That's right.
Crashed into Duckworth. Listen, I don't know how unfortunate he is. I think we're unfortunate because he hasn't changed his clothes in a couple of days.
Well, the good news is they found one of his 3 pieces of luggage. Let's hope it's the one with the fresh clothes. Otherwise, we're sending him to the Oregon mountains.
That's about where he smells like he's from now.
and to make it worse, his graphics equipment broke down just before the game. So it's truly Friday the 13th for the Trailblazers and Jeff Binke. Hang in there, Jeff. 16-point Celtics lead, 3:22 to go in the game. Vandeweghe. Can't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line. Connor Henry, Sam Vincent, now Rick Carlisle, Darren Day, and Fred Roberts are the Celtics lineup as those Celtics veterans get a rest. One of the reasons they're only having to play 30-35 minutes these days is they're getting these big leads. And remember, this is the 3rd road game of an 8-game, 12-day road trip for the Celtics. They're going to be 3-0 on the road. There's Greg Kite coming back in. Kite has 5 fouls on him. And Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe's 18 points below his average. He's averaging 26.46 in the NBA scoring.
Well, Portland, of course, needs to get outstanding performances from all of their players to ever have a chance to beat the Boston Celtics. They did not get that this evening.
And I don't think we can overemphasize the absence of Kenny Carr from the Trailblazers with his bad back. It really hurts him. He provides that inside muscle. He couldn't have stopped McHale either. However, day off balance. Vandeweghe to Drexler. Stolen by Connor Henry. Aaron Day with a fadeaway.
Barry's not afraid to put it up, Bob.
Connor Henry, number 43, you see on the left side there from Cal Santa Barbara. 6'7", good shooter.
Was with the Rockets.
Celtics like him. Drexler off balance. Garbage time. 2:31 to go in the game.
Now, you know, Bob, but that's what it should not turn into. If the players who are in the game are smart, they should go out there and try to execute their offense, play good, smart basketball, just like that. A good cut, nice pass, battle on the boards. And they're going to have a foul inside. You have to do that because for a guy who's not getting in the game at all, you've got to try and find a way to earn the respect of the coach to try and get some more playing time.
Kevin Duckworth with a foul. That's not on Martine. It was on Duckworth. Could have been on either one of them. They called it on 0-0. Kevin, who has his third personal foul in the ballgame. Here's that Celtics bench. They, usually after the 5 starters, you got about 3 players on the Celtics who play about 13, 14 minutes a game. Then about 3 more who play about 5 or 6 minutes. Darren Day. 122-106 Celtics. Minute 58 to go in the ball game. Fernando Martin from Spain. Duckworth. Nice touch. I like the way he's coming along. And he's down to a svelte 280 pounds also. Someone said he could stand to lose about 10, 15 more pounds.
We've been waiting. We've been waiting all season for him to hit one of those.
So I could say he looks like a young Rick Barry. 6'7". Good outside shooter. And we have a 20-second timeout with the Celtics leading 125-108. And as I said before about Connor Henry, the Celtics liked him. Red Auerbach liked him when he was down in Houston. Houston let him go. The Celtics jumped all over that.
They also let Craig Elo go, and he's doing well for Cleveland.
Be sure to tune in this Sunday night at 11 Eastern Time for the sports page. Charlie Neal and Nick Charles review the week in sports every Sunday night at 11 on the Superstation. They'll have a recap of the Daytona 500 and HL All-Stars versus the Soviets. Some highlights from that meet, plus the U.S. Olympic Invitational Track Meet. That'll all be on the sports page at 11 Eastern Time this coming Sunday night. I wanted to get back to Kevin Duckworth for a second, Rick, if I could. Duckworth came from San Antonio, and as he's moving into playing time, they said Paxson gets hammered and loses ball. And here comes Connor Henry. We'll come back to that. Carlisle blocked by Martine, and there's Kite to jam it home. Somebody said he needs to lose 10 or 15 more pounds, but they don't know who they can get to tell him. Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe just really hurting tonight from the field. Darren Day. 129-108.
The Celtic reserve showing you that they know how to run the break as well.
Kevin McHale out of there. He's going to be 1 point below. He has 37. His season high is 38. Duckworth walked. It was stripped away. They'll go to the free throw line. And the sellout crowd now filing out of here. Stay with us following tonight's game for Charlie Neal. He'll have the latest scores, and of course our Miller Lite player of the game selected by yours truly and Rick Barry. It seems to me that it's pretty obvious who the player of the game is. Would you agree, Rick?
Kite has fouled out of the ball game. Yes, I would think so.
It's not Greg.
No.
Larry Bird has finished the game in terms of scoring with 222 points, which is below Larry's average. Bird did have 9 rebounds and 11 assists. He was just a couple of rebounds away from having a triple-double. But Kevin McHale with 37 points. Going to be tough to...
Well, he's the man that caused so many problems for the Portland Trailblazers ball club. Of course, Larry having another outstanding ball game. His players who play an entire career and never have a line like Larry's had in this ball game. And for him, it's really not a line that's anything above what you're accustomed to seeing him do.
9 points for Duckworth in the game. For 3 from long range is Michael Holton. He's another one of those, that trio from UCLA. Day and Holton and Vandeweghe. When Vandeweghe was a senior, played with these Day and Holton as freshmen.
I see Joe was watching him now. He gave it a hand to Ronnie Nunn for making the call on the foul on that one. He better not do it too loudly because he already have one technical that cost him a few $100 extra.
Celtics lead at 129-110. 50 seconds remaining in this ball game. These two teams only play twice a year. We talked about the really excellent matchup between the two, but tonight it just didn't turn out that way because the matchup problem with McHale that everybody has proved to be the same. That's going to be disallowed. It was interfered with on the cylinder. Basket interference won't count. It'll be Portland ball. So Roberts does not get the basket. Fred Roberts out of Brigham Young. 3 BYU players on this Boston team. Ainge, Kite, and Fred Roberts. Kersey fouled as he drives.
Third foul, Darren Day.
So Portland with a 30-20 mark will go to 30-21. Portland trailing the Los Angeles Lakers by 7 games in the Pacific Division in second place. Lakers were losing by 1 in the third quarter last we checked at Los Angeles against Indiana.
It'll be interesting to see the Celtic team when we have them Thursday night against the Houston Rockets, who continue to play good basketball despite the fact that Ralph Sampson is out with that knee injury. Of course, anytime you have Akeem Olajuwon in the middle, you're going to be a team to be reckoned with, but they're sneaking up in the standings there in the Midwest.
Houston's won 7 out of the last 10, won 3 in a row, have a record of 26-22, only 5 games behind Dallas.
We'll see how well they're playing, however, when they play the Celtics Thursday night.
It's Connor Henry just launched that one from outside the three-point line after the whistle. He can really shoot. Won't count, of course.
Well, of course, he and Craig Elo are 2 other examples of players who found the right team to be with, being the right place at the right time.
Henry dishes off to Carlisle with 14 seconds to go in the ball game, and the Blazers have 100, and guess how many points on this Friday the 13th?
I was hoping that was going to go in so I could say 15.
We have a foul that's going to be against Boston.
Oh, and Boston. The Celtics
4 seconds left.
131, so there's a 13 at the beginning of that and the 13 at the end of the Blazers. And Wilt Chamberlain wore 13. And
oh, my. There are no 13s here tonight, though, fortunately. Hope all of you folks have had a safe Friday the 13th. Oh, there. I feel better already with Kersey making it 114.
Well, Fred Roberts wears 31, which is 13 backwards.
Duckworth got the rebound and banked it in off the glass. Duckworth now with 11 points in this game. And that's the end of the ball game, mercifully, as the Boston Celtics are 3-0 on this road trip, 131-116. We'll be back with our player of the game, but after these messages, you'll get a recap on all the NBA scores from our studios in Atlanta with Charlie Neal.